Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I just thought I'd do a little bit of education here and give you a little information and some ammunition to add to your arsenal when you're debating anti-gunners, or if you go to any of your town hall meetings and you have somebody that is trying to pass a bill. This will give you something to give the politicians that they probably don't know, because they're politicians, they don't actually research anything. So here's some information. Hopefully you can put it to use and maybe we'll change some minds. There's always the possibility, so we can hope. One of the very first things they can cover with them is background checks. That's something that they like to tell all of us, that we never go through a background check. Now you and I know that that's not true, but one of those things you could ask the politicians that are there, have they ever had a background check? You can ask any of the anti-gunners there if they've ever submitted to one. And if you're in Illinois, you can especially ask them if they undergo 360 per year, like every FOID card holder does. You can ask them if they've ever been fingerprinted to exercise any of their constitutionally protected rights, as most of us with concealed carry licenses have. If you're in Illinois, you can send it in without getting your fingerprints, but that gives the state police an extra 30 days to check on you to make sure that you're okay, even though you have your FOID and you undergo 360 background checks a day. If you get your Utah license, they want fingerprints. If you get your Arizona non-resident permit, they want fingerprints. Florida wants fingerprints. Most of us that have our concealed carry license have been fingerprinted. I wonder how many politicians have been fingerprinted. I wonder how many of the anti-gunners have been fingerprinted. I'm guessing it's pretty close to zero, unless they've committed some kind of crime. Another point you could bring up to them is rifle deaths. Rifles of any kind, that is hunting rifles, the evil black scary ones, muzzle loaders, any rifle at all, are responsible for about 350 deaths per year. Hands, fists, and feet are responsible for nearly double that. And these numbers come from the FBI crime statistics. So more people, nearly twice as many, are beat to death with hands, fists, and feet. I'm not going to get my foot up there. Than are killed by any sort of rifle. And that's not even counting beating deaths where they use an object. That's not stabbings. That is simply beating someone to death with your hands, fists, and feet. Nearly twice as many as rifles kill. Mass shooting deaths. In the last 50 years, there have been 1,077 deaths total due to mass shootings. That includes Parkland, that includes Las Vegas, and it is any shooting that results in 4 deaths or more. That is what is defined as a mass shooting, based on this Washington Post article. So legitimately, those aren't really mass shootings. 4 or more isn't what I would call a mass shooting. I would call Parkland a mass shooting. I would call Columbine a mass shooting. I would call Newtown a mass shooting. Vegas a mass shooting. Sutherland Springs a mass shooting. 4 deaths that may be a family annihilator, maybe a workplace shooting, it may be a gang shooting. I wouldn't call those mass shootings. I would call Parkland, Sutherland Springs, Las Vegas, Newtown, San Bernardino, Orlando, those I would call mass shootings. But 4 was the arbitrary number that Washington Post picked for this. Some other places use that 4 number for mass shootings. 1,077 deaths in 50 years. Now we can go on to defensive gun uses. Defensive gun uses, per the FBI, are about 500,000 per year. According to the CLEC study, it's up to 3 million per year. So this is my own number I'm picking here, is 0.1% of those as a life saved. If you use that number against the FBI and the CLEC study, you end up with 500 to 3,000 lives per year saved by firearms. Now, like I said, that is my number, the 0.1%. The 500,000 comes from the FBI, 3 million comes from the CLEC study. But potentially, in as little as 4 months, you save more lives than have been taken in mass shootings in 50 years. If it's the FBI number you take and my 0.1% number, it takes you 2 years to save as many lives as have been taken in the last 50 years. The numbers don't back the anti-gunners in banning any type of firearm. The numbers aren't there. Being killed in a mass shooting is a statistical zero. You have virtually no chance of ever being killed in a mass shooting. I realize that means nothing, absolutely nothing, to the people and their families and the survivors of a mass shooting. But when you're talking about stripping rights from Americans for a feel-good measure, it does mean something. Now, another thing you can bring up with your politicians or the anti-gunners are other causes of death, some which are completely preventable. Distracted driving kills 9 people per day. That is nearly 3,300 per year. That number comes from the NHTSA, government agency. Anti-gunners can't really dispute that number. But those are completely preventable deaths. Every single one of those deaths is preventable. Drunk driving kills 29 people per day. That is 10,585 per year. Completely preventable deaths. Every single one of them. Again, same source, NHTSA. There are plenty of other deaths out there, completely preventable, that would save more lives in days than have been taken in 50 years by mass shooters. Suicide, 43,000 per year. Some of those are preventable. Not all of them. Probably not a majority of them. Some of them are preventable. With education, with counseling, with reaching out to somebody that you know might be going through a hard time, might be at that point. Some of those deaths are preventable. Smoking, nearly 500,000 per year. Some of those are preventable. Heart disease, 600,000 per year. Also, some of them are preventable. Obesity, 400,000 per year. Now, guilty. That's all I gotta say. Guilty. I also smoked for 20 years. Guilty. I understand. But I'm not blaming the tobacco manufacturers. I'm not blaming the people that make my food. It's on me. Medical malpractice, 250,000 per year. $250,000 people per year, medical malpractice. Some of those, good portion of those are probably preventable, I would think. Diabetes, 76,000 per year. The flu, 55,000 per year. How many people that died from the flu didn't get their flu shot? Or I guess the other side of that is people like to blame, the flu shot. That's Spark do tinfoil hat for me. But how many of those 55,000 didn't get their flu shot? How many of those were children that didn't get a flu shot? And you've got drugs at 55,000. I didn't even bother to cover the drownings, car accidents, abortion if you want to go that route. Nearly everything, every cause of death in this country takes more lives than rifles. Definitely takes more than just the evil, black, scary ones that they want to ban. Such a small, tiny, minuscule number for their feel-good bans. But there you have it. There's some information. These are plenty to get your point across, to maybe open some eyes. There's others out there that you can research. You'll probably be dismissed long before you get through any of these as a gun nut or, literally Hitler. But that's some information for you. You're welcome to take this. I will put the text for this in the description below. If you have a meeting, a town hall meeting where they are debating stripping your rights from you, print it out, take it, read it to them. Don't go in there with just feels, because that's what the other side has. They have feels. We've got numbers. We've got statistics. We've got facts. They have feels. So hopefully that's some information that you can put to good use. If you're a subscriber, like and share this video. Please share. I would like to thank everybody that has gotten me to the 100 subs. I would like to, of course, increase more than that. If you're not subscribed, subscribe now. And until next time, stay armed, stay vigilant, stay safe.